everybody, today I'm sharing with you my second tutorial for Beebeecraft.com, and this is using the beautiful silver leafing. It's also using the 4mm and the 3mm rhinestone chain from Beebeecraft, and I've also used the lovely gem stickers on this Christmas tree here that I've made. I don't actually show that in the tutorial, but if you look very closely here, you will see I have added, sorry about paint and glue on my fingers, I have added some of those jewels on the glitter once it dried. And it adds a really lovely touch to this beautiful glittered and rhinestone trim tree, and the sparkle is just beautiful. So I hope you join me for the tutorial now. We're going to do, I've done 2 different size baubles just with the polystyrene balls, and this lovely tree which is also made out of polystyrene, and I just have that sitting on a candlestick there with a little bit of vintage doily and some that's in a little crystal babette with some some crystals hanging down, and they are my own crystals because they were on this dish to start with. So I hope you enjoy the tutorial. Firstly, you're going to get yourself a styrofoam ball. Now you can go for small ones or large ones, totally up to you, or you can do both. The next thing you're doing is getting some paint. I'm using black. You could use black or dark blue or dark green. I'm using the silver faux leafing, so I'm going for black, and you could go for blue. If you were using gold leafing, you might want to go for either black or a green or something to complement the actual colour. Paint your ball and allow it to dry. It doesn't have to be a perfect coverage, it's just as a backdrop for your leafing. Once it's dry completely, then you're going to get some tacky glue and you're going to apply it to the ball or any ornament you're doing, any styrofoam ornament you're doing, and allow it to dry fairly well, but not completely, sort of in the middle there. Like when you first put tacky glue on, although it's tacky glue, it's still quite wet. Allow it to dry a little bit, but not completely. And then once you have allowed it to dry, then you can apply your leafing. And this is one I've started doing already. I'm doing half at a time because I don't have anywhere to stand it. See, it's still loose in places because I was allowing it to dry. I'll just show you how I apply the leafing, getting some tacky glue here. Dry my brush off. I'm just putting some glue. That looks weird, doesn't it? On there, you don't have to put it thick. The thicker you put it, the longer it will take to dry. And the reason you paint the ball first is so that if you get any cracks in the leafing, it actually makes it look vintage. It gives it that backdrop rather than a white foam ball, and I like that look a lot. So just cover that, and I'm going to just let that dry a little bit. Put it there to dry a little bit, and then I'll be able to come back and show you how to put the leafing on. Okay, that's nice and tacky. I'm just going to get some of my faux leafing and lay it on. You can handle this leafing to a certain degree, not too roughly of course. Just gently push it on. Just try not to get glue on your fingers, because if you get glue on your fingers and then you touch the leafing, it does tend to stick to your fingers then. I think we need a little bit more here. See if we can get that on there. Okay, and I'm going to leave that to dry now. Once they have dried completely, you can just rub all the excess silver leafing off, and then to get rid of it all, use a soft brush, because it tends to lay down a little bit, so you get a lot of bits coming off with a brush, because you can go both ways. This one's actually still a little bit tacky, so I'll be careful with it, but that's pretty much what you do. And see, you do get little bits of black coming through. If you want to cover them, just put another bit of glue on and cover them. I don't mind it at all, because it tends to look quite vintage that way. So this, see, yeah, I'm pulling it off with my fingers. I need to leave this just a little bit longer, so they will dry. But that's what I will do with all of them once they are dry. Okay, so this one has dried and is quite nice. I have a safety pin here. I found a whole bag at the op shop quite a long time ago, all different sizes. And now I saw this, I think, on Pinterest. I don't have a link to it or anything, because I saw it a long time ago, just in passing, and this is the first time I've really tried it. So find a place you want to have your hanger, and you just push it in like that, and it doesn't come out again. It might come out like a millimeter or so, but it doesn't come out again, and you have yourself an instant hanger. I mean, these are only styrofoam balls. They're going to hang very easily, they're only light. But there you go, you have a little hanger in there without having to use glue or anything like that. So that's what I'm going to do. And I did try the even smaller ones, but they bent a little bit when I pushed them in on a scrap of. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll just put that to one side. Alright, so we have our little covered baubles. We have our pin inserted into the top there. Now we're going to glue some things on. Now I have my 4mm rhinestone chain, and I have my little 3mm rhinestone chain, and they're both from Beebeecraft. Beautiful, and I'm going to use both of them. And it is fairly important to get the balance right on something like this. So whatever you're putting on one side of the bauble, you need to do the same weight on the other side. Otherwise, your bauble will hang crooked when you're finished. So there's my pin there. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down the side there, and this is the 4mm. I'm just going to put that there nice and straight. If I can get it straight. There. And do the same on the other side. Because they're styrofoam balls, they're actually very lightweight even when they're finished, which is really nice. Okay, so they're both like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing going down this way. Just gauging, getting it straight. And these foam balls I got from the op shop, which is the thrift store, a few months ago. I saw them and I thought they'd probably come in handy at Christmas time, because I always like to make some decorations every year. And I started getting the decorations out today to have a look at, and it's quite amazing how many different Christmas trees I've made, you know, little ornamental ones. And I thought, well, maybe I'll do a little video of that, because how they've changed a bit over the years. Yet they all seem to go together, most of them do, so that's nice too. Okay, so they're fairly even. Okay, and now I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the 3mm, but I'm going to place it in the center of those ones there, and then I'll... Alright, so that's fairly dry now. As you can see, we need to get our little pin and make a hanger. These are just old vintage roller clips. The ladies used to wear the rollers in their hair, and they used to have the pins going through the rollers, so I'm just going to use that for my hanger. Like that, and that way I can put that through that little pin, and that will hang nicely on my tree. I'll take that off for the time being though. That is my bauble. Now I'm just going to use some tacky glue and give it a bit of a shake first. Move those. And okay, right, I think I need to give it a bit of a clean out. What I'm going to do now is just put some glue going down. Doesn't have to be neat and tidy, just, you know, like that, nice. I'm just going to do one side first because I need something to hold on to, and I have here some beautiful vintage German glitter glass, the real thing. So I've had this for a few years now. Love it. It does tarnish, but that's okay. I like that look. And I've done that side like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dry and then do exactly the same thing on the other side, and I've got myself a lovely Christmas ornament for my tree. And I'll be back once they're all dry. And for the larger baubles, I am just going to put myself a pin in the end so I can hold it. Get my tacky glue and kind of just do that. And then get my brush and brush the tacky glue going down like that. And I want it coming down past the halfway mark in a You know, just a gentle brush stroke. Doesn't have to be all even or anything, just a gradual sort of thing like that. And then get my glitter. Oops, I missed a little bit at the top there. I don't think that would matter though, because of the lovely silver leafing on it. And just go like that. And of course I've got paper down, so I'm catching all my glitter, and that will be folded so I can funnel it back into the shaker here, because I don't want to waste any of this lovely glitter. It's so sparkly, isn't it? It's just beautiful. And it will go lovely with the silver leafing, especially once it starts to tarnish a little bit, because it will change colour slightly and it will really look lovely with that silver leafing. Probably by next Christmas it will start to change colour, because I do live in a humid climate, so they don't stay this sparkly always. So give it a bit of a tap, and oops, I knocked a bit off. And now I need to let that dry. And once it's dry, I will also, you know, give it a good tap, because I don't want glass glitter all over my floor. But how beautiful is that? That's going to catch the light really nicely. So I'm going to let that dry now. So I hope you enjoyed that quick tutorial. And I do just want to mention that on the Christmas tree I used exactly the same technique as I did on the little baubles here. I just put strings of the 4 and 3 millimeter rhinestone chain going at different lengths, because this one didn't have to balance out. As you can see, you know, they vary in height. You can, and there's nice gaps. It kind of comes like almost an ombre affecting glitter, because it's just a bit jagged. And then I glued my little rhinestone or crystal stickers on top, and that's how it turned out, and I really like it. I love the way that the light catches the silver leafing, the rhinestones, the glitter, and the stickers. I just think it's very Christmassy and very beautiful. So thank you so much for joining me today, and do take care, and thank you Beebeecraft for these beautiful products to work with. Bye bye now.